You want to pass the Macallans?
Sure.
There you go.
We've only got two sandwiches left.
There's lots of pickles though.
Yeah, I've been here for I guess since the end of September, and I've had some one-on-ones. I've had some master classes with you guys, and I've been able to get to know your environment a little bit, and I've actually gotten to read some of your work and hear some of your work. How many of you guys feel like you're probably going to make a life in the humanities in some way, shape, or form? Because it can be teaching, it can be writing, it can be both. It can simply be being alive to culture, right? And I was going to make a hockey comparison, and then I thought, I will blame that on Mordecai. So because Mordecai would make a hockey comparison, I will, but in fact I would anyway. I came to this late in life, which is a bit of a cautionary tale because some of you may be allergic even to sports or to something that you think you'll never be interested in, and then suddenly one day everything changes and you're in love. But I think about how important for many people in our country hockey is. And as soon as I started playing, I started realizing that a lot of my metaphors started involving this sport that I always took for granted and was really bored by and couldn't have cared less about. And suddenly it was infecting the way I saw everything. I didn't get interested in watching hockey until I started playing it. And I'm an amateur, right? And I thought, I'm an amateur who's been born into an age of expertism. And sometimes I feel like your generation was born into the age of not just expertism, but extremism. Extreme everything. You know, extreme PETA. That for me was just, oh, extreme new world that hath such PETA in it, you know? And I thought, what compelled me to watch hockey, what made hockey fun and interesting for me was simply because I started playing it. And I thought, it's the same with art. And broadly speaking, what we think of as culture. And to participate meaningfully. Here's something that everybody can relate to in their own way, many of us. And some of us are going to go down that road with it, some of that road. But the only reason it's strong and enduring is that everybody participates in it, right? And I feel very passionately the same way about literature in particular, art in general, theater. And when I think about the importance of the arts in schools, for example, it's not because I'm really looking for that next little Mordecai Richler, and well, that could be a next Alice Munro. Well, you know what? Those people are going to come along. But that's not because they are singled out and honed and groomed. It's because they grow up in a soil that is diverse and rich and is abundant with people who love arts and culture and who practice it. What we have the capacity for as writers is longevity, all things being equal, you know, that you're blessed with good health, etc., and the degree of good fortune. You have the capacity to work for the rest of your life. So it's a very good idea to take a long view of what you're doing, especially if you're stuck in hating what you're doing right now. This is just a moment. And get good at tunneling out of those middle places, right? Because it's going to change, it's going to shift. And as long as you maintain good cognition, you know, keep your marbles for as long as you can, you will write until you're dead, really. And I think that's one of the great advantages. Whether or not you start off as a professional or have a professional sojourn or you're a professional all your life, this is something that you can do all your life. This is a very good city in which to have your own thoughts. I feel like there's still a lot of freedom in this city, and there's a lot. There's a fertile substrate for the interior life, and for the individual life here. It doesn't feel like everything's completely branded. It also just feels like there's a lot of. Montreal has still got a lot of just free freelance creativity, basically. I went to school here a very long time ago, and I was struck by that then. And returning here now, I thought, well, will it all have become mainstreamed and streamlined? No, there's still a lot of texture. I think in a way that's to do, one of the factors is that there's still so many young people in this city, right? So my first dispatch when I was doing this kind of like generation wimp, because they were the tough generation, and I'm the wimp generation, and now I got the next generation, and I can't say I bench pressed this because I wasn't on a bench, but like, and I did I don't know if I could do it right now again, but I wondered if anyone wanted to just if we should just pass this around. Do you think?
The first time I was in here was for a class, and we were not allowed to touch the typewriter.
You are hereby called. This is a laying on of hands of the Underwood. Please touch my Underwood. Mordecai might have said. Here, let's pass it around. Check out this baby. Isn't that incredible? Whoa! All right, that's how they make him in Newfoundland. Look at that. All right, Oren.
No joke.
Oh. That's serious.
Schwarzenegger's got
It
nothing
takes
on
strength to be a writer and fortitude. Isn't that amazing?
So this typewriter and that typewriter are both his?
He has many, many, many typewriters, and I think at some point for the last dispatch, maybe we'll grab a shot of his room of typewriters.
Oh, shut
What the? Are you a farm boy?
Yes.
Totally right. Oh no.
Okay. See, you don't get that kind of strength just working out. No, that's a life. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good.
You have little faith.
Well said.
It is quite heavy, though.
You've got remarkable sang-froid. Well then, anybody else need to touch this thing? Just touch the thing. See, this has become such as kind of a sacramental lunch here. Sorry, can't help it. And Mordecai and I were talking about that earlier in a little session. It's like everything you can run, but you can't hide from your roots. You can transform them, however. And okay. Oh. Yeah. It's like a superhero. Underwood. Well, do we have anything else to talk about, or are we just about wrapped up here?
Thank you so much for sharing your energy with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yes, well, it was an unexpected surprise, but thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. This has been fun.
Yeah, this semester's been the master classes have been really helpful.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
very much.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been your advice. There's been a couple things that you've said that have really hit home and seemed to open up a door or a window or a roof maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I really appreciate it. Just even I don't know, just from a problem I had in my play that I felt like you really validated my gut feeling on.
Oh, good.
But also just, I don't know, it's just really good to speak to another woman and having a queer perspective, a female perspective, the perspective of a mom, the perspective of someone who has written famous novels and someone who is also still putting herself into risky places, taking risks. I don't know, it's great.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very, very much. Well, we could probably turn the cameras off and then you can say what you really think.
There you go.
It's been so much fun. Hey, does anyone want to take any pickles and sandwiches for the road?
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I crazy? I'm talking to students.
Now the camera's on.
Right?
Maybe we should hash it out just
We're gonna do a tag. We'll do a tag. I got a tag in mind.